Yuri Gagarin was a Soviet pilot and cosmonaut who became the first human to journey into outer space, traveling in the Vostok 1 capsule. Gagarin completed one orbit of Earth on the 12th of April 1961. By achieving this major milestone in the space race, he became an international celebrity and was awarded many medals and titles, including Hero of the Soviet Union, his nation's highest honor. Gagarin was born in the Russian village of Klishino, and in his youth was a foundryman at a steel plant in Lyubertsy. He later joined the Soviet Air Forces as a pilot and was stationed at the Luostari Air Base near the Norwegian border before his selection for the Soviet space program with 5 other cosmonauts. Following his spaceflight, Gagarin became Deputy Training Director of the Cosmonaut Training Center, which was later named after him. He was also elected as a Deputy of the Soviet of the Union in 1962, and then to the Soviet of Nationalities, respectively the lower and upper chambers of the Supreme Soviet. In 1960, Gagarin was chosen alongside 19 different possibilities for the Vostok 1 program. In the long run, the program was limited to 2 potential applicants. Gagarin and German Titov both had excellent performance in their training and were short enough to fit in the Vostok cockpit. Gagarin was perhaps selected because of his modest background, which suited Soviet Union propaganda, but also because of the other candidates who voted for him. His excellent memory skills, fast reactions, and mathematical skills. At age 27, on the morning of 12th of April 1961, cosmonaut Yuri Gagarin was helped into his spacesuit and made his way to the launch pad. He climbed into the Vostok spacecraft, wondering if he would return back to Earth, but was calm. At 9:07 a.m. Moscow time, as the engines rumbled, Gagarin said, "Let's go." The rockets blasted off into space, and in 10 minutes the Vostok spacecraft separated from the launch rocket. Gagarin was in space. He crossed the Atlantic Ocean, then the Pacific Ocean, and as his spacecraft passed over Africa, he prepared to re-enter the Earth's atmosphere, which would not be easy. He had orbited Earth for 108 minutes during the flight as he made re-entry there. Cables joining the Vostok descent module to the service module failed to detach properly, almost causing disaster as it violently shook Gagarin, until they eventually pulled apart. As he re-entered Earth's atmosphere, he experienced forces up to 8 times the pull of gravity, but remained conscious. Because the Vostok spacecraft had no engines to slow down its re-entry upon landing, Gagarin had to eject out and parachute to Earth. He landed safely near the Volga River. Yuri Gagarin was made a national hero of the Soviet Union. It became a global celebrity. He died on March 27, 1968, during an accident in a military training flight. He was just 34 years old. The date of Gagarin's space flight, the 12th of April, has been commemorated. Since 1962, it has been celebrated in the USSR and most of its former territories as Cosmonautics Day. Gagarin has been honored on the moon by astronauts and astronomers. In 2001, to commemorate the 40th anniversary of Gagarin's flight, a series of 4 coins bearing his likeness was issued in Russia. There are statues of Gagarin and monuments to him located in the town named after him. The 50th anniversary of Gagarin's journey into space was marked in 2011 by tributes around the world. A documentary film titled First Orbit was shot from the International Space Station, combining sound recordings from the original flight with footage of the route taken by Gagarin.